What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll be working on the GX460 and installing something very much anticipated. I've been always wanting it, and I think this is where the build is gonna slow down in the sense of the way how my car is gonna look wise. So let's get down to what we will be installing today. I bought a Victory 4x4 roof rack, and I will be showing you guys today how to install it. And this is going to be from 2010 to all the way to 2023 models. If you do have the black line, it's still going to be the same, so there should be no difference. I'm going to still try to maintain this bar up here as well. I'm going to still try to see if I can keep it on there just so it could be, you know, doubled up. I don't know if that's going to still happen, but that is still my mindset, to see if I could still keep that underneath there. And see what I can do. If not, then of course just have to lose the stock roof rails, which isn't a problem. But let's get into the install. So first of all, I would just like to show you guys what you will need to be doing. So these are going to be using this slot right here. There's 7 of these bars, and they're going to slot into right here. The packaging was amazing. I had to tear through all that stuff. It came into 2 separate packages. So Victory 4x4 knocked it out of the park. This looks very sturdy, very well made. I didn't, when I saw Prinsu in person, I didn't really like the way how it looked. Of course, different stroke for different folks. But I did like the way how sturdy this Victory 4x4 roof rack felt. And I didn't go with the light bar cutout because I will be making something custom with my Fab Guy in the future when the light bars do come. But they have, you know, everything galore with everything that you need in here. And they even, Victory 4x4 even tells you where you need to do, put these brackets. So you'll have the 6 mounting brackets just like as in your stock setup. And this will go, you have your 2 rears, which it's described as 46R. You have your 2 middles, which is 46M. And then you have your 2 fronts, which is described as 46F. And so, without further ado, let me get into, you know, essentially putting it together. But what you're going to want to be doing is not tighten it all the way, because you're still going to want to, when you get ready to mount it, you're still going to want to have that adjustment. So with these, I'm not going to tighten all the way since it's just into the slots, and you want to, you know, figure out where you're going to want to put it, especially in the sunroof area. It's not going to hit it, but if you want these moved apart from the sunroof area to not block it, you can. And then of course with these, depending on how you want to set up your cargo, where you're going to be putting all of your stuff, that's why you're going to have to just loosely mount them. And I'll show you here in a bit. The tools you'll be needing today is something with a hex at the end. That's a 532, and a small little ratchet with an 11 socket. And let me show you guys how the installation is going so far. So this is what I have so far. I don't know if I'm going to be putting the bar right there where the sunroof is located. I know it's not going to touch even if you have it on, but you know, just to have, when you open up the sunroof or look outside, there's not a bar crossing. And that's why I set this one all the way to the front and this one all the way towards the back on this second one. Again, I can still run this if I want to in the future, but I know that if I'm going to be loading anything, it's not going to be towards the front. It's going to be towards, you know, the middle, towards and the back. So this is the way how Victory 4x4 wants you to assemble it first, is they want you to assemble, put on the middle bars here. And then on the second part, they want you to put the front and rear fairings on. I didn't do the light bar cutout like I said before. I'll be working on with my Fab Guy on something in the future. But they want you to essentially put the strip from right here to right here. So from corner to corner for anything that it can touch. And then they want you to use the excess on the rear, which obviously is not shown a lot, to where it may touch right here as well. And so I did that here, and I was able to put the good setup. So now that will be the next step, is putting these fairings on. And it's really, you're in the home stretch. And the bolts that I used were the really small ones. You get the most of these. I believe, what were they here? I don't know which ones they're called. I think it was this one right here, but the 532 that I had to run. And I'm pretty sure with these longer ones, I'm pretty sure these are going to be used for the wind fairing. But again, I'll let you guys know in a little bit. So here is the final product. I will be leaving that off, like I said, because I just want a little bit of sunroof room. So I'm not looking out. Yes, it will still clear, but I don't want to be looking at a bar when I do see it. And I just called Victory 4x4. Great customer service. You won't be using everything that's in here. I was going nuts and I was getting a little bit worried about it. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I messed up here, but it looks like I didn't. So great. Thank you. Big shout out to Lee at Victory 4x4. What I did also pull from the stock bolts were these little rubber gaskets. I think what I want to do is still add these on top of these just for a little bit of better weatherproofing. So it can be like this. It can be a better setup. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, the hard part of getting it on the car by myself, well, with my little furry helper, Gunner. Say hello, puppy. Okay, he's looking off in the distance, all majestic. Anyways, now getting it onto my car by myself, that is going to be the next thing that I'm going to have to overcome. I think I'm going to have to wait for my wife to come home and do that. But I will still be trying to make a plan to get that on there myself because I don't think I can wait that long. So I was able to get it on here by myself. What I did was I draped the 2 moving blankets that you saw in the previous couple of shots that I had, and I laid it over here, closed the doors, and then I got up on the ladder, and then I gently laid it flat down and made sure to avoid obviously the antenna up top. And I did have to adjust the brackets. I did have to switch them over. I put them on the opposite way. So when you put the brackets on, they need to be facing, the tabs need to be facing towards the back instead of towards the front, how I had them positioned. So that's the only thing that I'm fixing right now. But other than that, everything is loosely in. What I'm doing is just bolting this one down all the way. So I'm working on bolting these down all the way and then keeping these loose to make adjustments here and there. And then I'm going to make an adjustment on the front wind fairing and the rear wind fairing to make sure it all looks flush and complete. So I did want to show you guys the final product. When I was editing, this is a different day, but when I was editing, the file somehow got corrupted. So I just wanted to show you guys and go over what I did. So with these two, like I said, I was able to push this one a little bit more forward because it does clear the sunroof, and I'll show you that right now. So you can only see that bar in the front, which is not too bad. And like I said, if you did want to put the bar over there, it was going to be in the front, but it would still clear, right? So these will still clear the glass in case you want to lift it up. But my setup is essentially these are all in the middle. Besides this one in the back, I wanted to get this one, the furthest that I could. So just in case if I wanted to lay it on the rear wind fairing. And I'll show you, let me get the stool really quick and show you guys the final product up top. So it's very simple, very basic. It is very, very sturdy. I've already driven with this for around, I believe, a week and a half now, and I absolutely love it. No wind noise that I can hear, no difference, no rattling, no shaking, no nothing. I'll still be doing a shakedown test, but it does look awesome. And I'll show you from the rear. So as you can see here, this is where it's touching right here, and that's why you wanted to put it right there. Other than that, it is perfect. No water has gotten in. I wasn't able to reuse the rubber fittings from the stock bolts though. I did want to let you guys know that. But other than that, I don't know. I don't really think there's any types of sealant that you need to put on here. That's what I was worried about, but as you can see, it's been raining and nothing has gotten into the cabin or anything like that. But I think what I will do in the future, however, is upgrade this hardware to some type of black or something like that, or maybe be a little bougie and do a little bit of nice gold plated or something like that, add a little bit of flair. But for right now, this will work. And once again, the bracket setup, I'll show you guys that. Make sure that these brackets when you're putting it on yours, that they're facing towards the rear instead of towards the front. I initially had them towards the front in the video and it did not work out for me. I had to swap them over, but if you have any questions, just let me know. And that will be the end of this video. And yes, if you guys are wondering, I did get a fresh cut and a nice shave. I needed it. I looked a little bit scruffy, but yes, thank you for noticing that I look handsome, but that's besides the point. The Victory 4x4, I went with that one because that's what I liked. I liked the way how it looked. I did see a couple of, Prinsu and Sherpa in person. I didn't like how thin that they looked, but again, I'm not talking about quality. They just look kind of flimsy in my opinion, and they didn't hug the body lines of the GX460 and really cover up the brackets and everything below that on your car. So that's why I went with Victory 4x4. Not saying not to go with any other brand. Again, this is it's your car at the end of the day. I just chose this one. I hope you guys like the install video, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the description. I will be putting the link to the Victory 4x4, and please leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. It will help the channel grow greatly.